All right, so what we're going to focus on today is one of my favorite drills. I usually teach it in our first, usually trial session with everybody. We got this from Ajarn Dave Rogers. He's the guy who pretty much brought all of these arts to this area. So I'm forever thankful. Thank you so much, sir. And we just call it Dave's 9 count. Dave Rogers brought this in, and it's just basic boxing right now, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to string 3 punches together in 3 different ways. So the 3 punches we're going to focus on are the jab, the cross, and the hook. Now, I've mentioned in previous videos how to properly throw a jab, a cross, and a hook. I'll touch on it again briefly here. So if we're in our stance right now, I'm in a left lead. Doesn't matter if you're a left lead or a right lead. What you're going to do is you're going to roll out onto your lead foot, and as you do, you're going to roll your left hand, or your lead hand, excuse me, in towards your target, hiding your jaw behind your shoulder. So I'm hiding my jaw here. I'm not doing this, okay? So if I'm in my stance here like this, throw my jab, throw a jab, throw a jab. You can do this nice and slow, but ideally your jab comes out and comes back to your face faster than it came out. So if you go out at 30, bring it back at 70. All right. So now we're going to focus on our cross. Again, I've already touched on this in deeper detail. So if you're interested, we'll link to that video, and we'll go from there. So anyhow, the next one's the cross. The cross is your rear hand. So my right foot is back, so my right hand is going to be my cross. Cross is also known as a rear straight. The key on these is, again, hiding your jaw behind your shoulder, but also digging in with your rear foot. So I'm going to try and back up here so you can actually see my feet. I'm going to dig my foot and actually turn into that shot. So if my foot stays flat, I've done it wrong. I should be on my toes. Cross, cross, cross. Okay, so that's the cross. The last one we're going to cover is the hook. Okay, so the hook, usually when I have people on their first day, I exaggerate the living hell out of this. So you lean over this lead foot, push off of your lead foot, and rotate that through. Your elbow should be parallel with the ground, and you should hit with your knuckles either horizontally or vertically. So exaggerate it and hook. Exaggerate it and hook. Exaggerate it and hook. So watch my lead foot as I do this. My lead foot, as I do this, it doesn't stay here. It has to turn. If I don't get this turning motion, then I'm not going to actually generate power. So if I'm wanting to throw a lot of hooks, then I tend to have this foot a little bit more turned anyhow, so I can drop that in faster, and I don't need to exaggerate this. But once you get to the habit of not exaggerating your punch so much, your hook becomes a little bit more, just kind of sinks in there. You just drop it in. The nice thing is the cross tends to load up that hook, and you're going to see that sort of relationship between the cross and the hook throughout this whole pattern, which is why I like it so much for beginners. So what we're going to do here is you're going to string the jab, the cross, and the hook together. So it's going to go jab, cross, hook. Basic boxing, 1, 2, 3. Jab, cross, hook. Jab, cross, hook. Jab, cross, hook. And jab, cross, hook. Next set of 3 is cross, hook, cross. Cross, hook, cross. Cross, hook, and cross. Cross, hook, and cross. Cross, hook, and cross. Cross, hook, and cross. So the last set of 3 will be our hook, cross, hook. So we throw a hook, throw a cross, throw another hook. Hook, cross, 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 and hook. So all of those motions are now going to be strung together. And this is usually when people, especially on their first day, kind of look at me like, oh my God, really? We're going to make it a 9 punch combination. It seems much more difficult than it is. It's left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. So if I did that right, that should have been 9. Anyway, jab, cross, hook, cross, hook, cross, hook, cross, and hook. Jab, cross, hook, and cross, hook, cross, and hook. Jab, cross, hook, cross, hook, cross, hook, cross, hook. Jab, cross, hook, cross, hook, cross, hook, cross, hook. Now, it's pretty basic, right? Most of you who are actually watching these videos, which isn't many of you, you already know this, right? So why am I trying to make sure you focus on that again today? The idea behind this jab, cross, hook, cross, hook, cross, hook, cross, hook, or Dave's 9 count is learning how to string punches together. It's also a great way of adding sort of a conditioning aspect to things. Right now I'm going through things pretty slow because I'd like to still be able to speak coherently, but this thing gets sped up really fast and it becomes quite the drill as far as conditioning drill. The other reason why I'm a big fan of Dave's 9 count is just because you can use it as a platform, and that platform can be built on in so many different ways. You can add defenses to it before, during, and after the shots. You can add movement to it before, during, and after. You can be interrupted in the middle of the combination. All of that sort of stuff is a really great addition to this pattern. So I like to use this as a generator. So we will be building off of this in video lessons to come. So again, the Dave's 9 count is jab, cross, hook, cross, hook, cross, hook, cross, and hook. I like to make sure that even if I'm setting in for 9 punches straight, I point out the fact that that's not ever going to actually happen. But it is a great way of training on a bag. I pointed to the bags you can't see. But it's also a great way of just getting the reps in. But make sure you don't get flat-footed. So if I'm going jab, cross, hook, cross, hook, cross, hook, cross, hook, jab, cross, hook, cross, hook, cross, hook, cross, hook, jab, cross, hook, cross, hook, cross, hook, cross, hook, that might work on a bag, and even then the bag still might hit you. So the idea should be to work jab, cross, hook, cross, hook, cross, hook, cross, hook, and peel off, move around a little bit, change your head, change your elevations, jab, cross, hook, cross, hook, cross, hook, cross, hook, move, jab, cross, hook, cross, hook, cross, hook, cross, hook, move, jab, cross, hook, cross, hook, cross, hook, cross, hook, move. That's what I'm looking for when I'm saying Dave's 9 count. I'm looking for you to move, and I'm looking for you to move your body, add defenses, not staying in one spot. So the basic 9 count is something that we will build off of throughout the rest of this video series. What I'm going to add first is just the initial sort of countering motions, okay? We're not gonna deal with it in the flow tonight. So the first thing we're gonna deal with is their jab, then their cross, and then their hook. Weird, right? So what we're gonna deal with first is how to slip, okay? We're gonna work slipping a couple different ways. There's more than just these 2 ways, but these are the 2 I'm gonna show you for this set. So you can slip with just your body. Slip with just your body. All I'm doing is I'm dropping my weight and moving off the line of attack. Dropping my weight and moving off the line of attack. So if my head is lined up here with this green flag and I'm squared up on you, I drop my weight, I drop my weight. I'm now slipping and slipping. So if they're punching straight towards my nose, which is where that green flag is, you should see my my head offline. So I'm picturing a jab coming at me. If they're in a left lead, I slip their jab. I picture a cross coming at me. If they're in a left lead, slip the cross. Right? So as I slip, I keep my hands up and I keep my chin down. I'm not just doing this. Okay? Drop it and drop it. This is all just my upper body movement and my lower body dropping weight. Next one, I'm gonna step back so you can see this a bit better, is I start to engage with my feet. So I slip with an advance, or I slip with an advance. Slip with an advance, or slip with an advance. If I'm slipping their jab, I can either slip laterally, or step laterally, or I can step and slip on the female triangle. If I'm slipping their cross, I can either slip laterally, or slip off on that female triangle. There's other ways of dealing with shots coming back at you and stepping back on the male triangle, but for right now, we're just focusing on this 2-part slip. So your first defense is a stationary slip, twice. Your second one is an advancing slip, twice. So again, picture a jab coming at you. It's important that you actually picture this. Picture jab and slip. Picture jab and slip, or cross and slip, excuse me. Jab and slip, cross and slip. Jab and advancing slip, cross and advancing slip. Jab and slip, cross and slip. Jab and advancing slip, cross and advancing slip. So those are the first two. We're going to again build off of that. The next one we're going to deal with is the hook, okay? The first one and the easiest one to deal with is just cover it, right? If you can see it coming, you're going to cover it, okay? We're going to do two different covers tonight. We're going to do the tight cover and we're going to do the wide cover. The tight cover is not very fun if you have MMA gloves on. It's not very fun if you don't, right? It's kind of oh shit, a last ditch effort sort of thing. So if I'm in this position here, all of a sudden a hook's coming at my head, I cover it, okay? I'm tightly covering. I'm keeping my hand tucked to my ear or behind my head, and I'm keeping this in as tight as I can. If I have a big glove on, this makes this way easier. So the shot's coming at me, I cover it, and I cover it. If this one's coming at me, I tight cover, and tight cover. Now ideally, you stuff it a little bit. So if this shot's coming in, I can kind of stuff it a little bit and choke up on them a little bit. That way they lose some of that momentum. If I have to give with it, don't give with just your upper body, okay? If you have to give with it, give with your feet. That way you can fire back and still have a base. If I give with just my upper body, I'm sacrificing my balance, I'm sacrificing power and return. So if you have to give with it because the power is too strong or you missed the timing up pretty drastically and you couldn't stuff it, then give with it and then fire something back because you actually moved your feet. So that's what we would call a tight cover. Tight cover, okay? The wide cover, we often refer to it as the John Wayne. We got that from Guru Dan Asano. A lot of the John Wayne movies had, he blocked this shot here, blocked this shot here. So, you know, the big looping overhands coming at you, or the hook, or whatever the case might be, John Wayne it. John Wayne it. You'll also see it in with Captain Kirk, all the Star Trek shows and movies for that matter. Block it and block it. So you have the tight cover and you have a wide cover. Tight cover and wide cover. So what I want you to do now is I want you to focus on adding their return after each set of three. So if I feed a jab and a cross and a hook, 1, 2, and 3. They now feed a jab, I slip it back. So everything that I start the pattern with, they feed back. So if I start the pattern with a jab, they feed a jab back. Jab, cross, hook. They feed a jab, I slip it, or I advancing slip it. I feed a cross, a hook, and a cross. Cross, hook, cross. I slip it, or I advancing slip it. Again, cross, hook, cross, advancing slip. I feed the hook, the cross, and the hook. I cover it. Or I feed the hook, the cross, and the hook. I wide cover it. So either way, you can get reps specifically on those sets of 3.